Great. We just getting started. So now I'm watching the Doggy USDT because during the day the coin showed quite really good movements. A lot of buyers contracts were executed, so higher than average volumes. However, now the volumes are this is a kind of divergence with the price. However, the instrument is being pumped still, so I'm trying to trade with low volume, hoping for refresh of this high. I really recommend you watching this instrument and trying to open long from solid background, solid support in here in clusters. Now we have 3 green delta in a row. It means that it has been pumped for about 15 minutes, and graphically it looks really good. I think I mean the price action. Here we had the breakout of this level, then the retest, and the rounding of this part. I really believe it finally goes on growing. Please don't forget to give your feedback here, to ask your questions. And before we start, I recommend subscribing for the crypto chat for English community. Here we usually post really good setups of different traders, professional traders, and you can even find the workouts of such setups. I usually prefer using this channel as the screener because there are some. This is one of mine. So this is about to find some setups, and I recommend using such setups only in case you share these thoughts and your analysis coincides with the analysis of the author. It's extremely important. So such signals, such setups shouldn't be perceived as the magic pill. Great, we have look at this in clusters. We have green clusters. Previously, I talked about the situation when we really keep an eye on the color of the clusters. This is the example when we should really pay attention to the color, because we have the uptrend or we have the reversal point and the market purchases. By the market purchases, by the cluster colors, we can judge where the buyers are strong and at what point they face some resistance. So if it's a stop loss hit, I will prefer to re-enter at some better point. Every admirable movement always needs a correction. Let's talk about some other situation a little bit later, because we really should keep an eye on this situation, because it's quite interesting. The worst thing is that the green delta lasted only 15 minutes. Now it has changed to red one, but I really hope this is only 1 minute from new 5 minute time frame, and I really hope it will be another chance to load. Look at this, there are some limit orders. I really hope this is the load of huge participant. So let's watch, because the instrument is quite interesting, because as you see, the volume still higher than average. So while we are waiting for the better point to average our position, let's see some other assets, some other coins. BTC. The good news is that, as I previously said on the morning briefing, is that Coinbase reported that it has the reserves, strong, very reliable reserves in BTC instrument. It made it gave some confidence of huge investors in Bitcoin. So we see now that for many huge arms, for many huge holders of the BTC, now it's the point of break even, and for many of them there is already loss. But finally, despite this fact, many of them are still holding, they believe, and this is a good sign. Finally, we have many instruments oversold, and I really believe and I really hope that the next ICP report will show us that the inflation rates, the consumer price index remains calmed down. So I really hope that it would be as expected, on the same level, if not lower, but at least at the same level. I mean 4%, and that would be new good sign for the S&P, for the Nasdaq to grow, and the crypto to follow this tendency. But it doesn't mean, unfortunately, that the Federal Reserve System stop tightening the policy, the monetary policy, but it would be at least the healthy sign. So the BTC, what's about the technical analysis? I think that it's about to break this slope. I really recommend you pay attention to higher than average volumes, because previously it was reported that that was the record for BTC of the lowest volumes of trading recently. But by that moment, the BTC has restored this the liquidity and the activity of trading. So it's another good sign. Can you check AMB? Looks like a cup pattern for me. I think 4 hour time frame is too huge for scalping, but if you want to invest, maybe. Let's check. Anyway, yes, it looks like, but look at these shadows. These shadows is the sign of instability, the work of robots, the unstable supply and demand. And I don't like such patterns, because look at these shadows. The coin is being dumped after some reach of these levels, it means that some sellers, speculators limit orders, pushing back the price. Uh, I don't like this. I usually uh, call this fish skeleton with bones to both sides. If you are going to invest, you'd better check the first part as fundamental factors: the team of the project, the roadmap, the minimum working product. What else? The team, as I said, tokenomics, and so on, the sphere of this project. But for scalping, I think this is quite bad idea to trying to consider, trying to analyze this on a 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame for us is important only in the aspect of building levels, very strong and important levels. So as I said, BTC, I really hope that the BTC will probably break the slope. Then it will be retest, and after that, the continuation of the local uptrend. I mean, at least to 17,600, or let's say somewhere in there. Another sign of huge player participation is that, oh, I forgot about stop loss replacing. Another sign is this liquidity grab. The liquidity grab in logical places where, for example, it looks really artificial, usually takes place in those areas where the huge player is loading position. It really looks like. So this is another one argument for the breakout of this slope. But anyway, I personally do not like trading BTC on futures. But if you do, if you're gonna be, I really recommend you waiting for the higher activity on this level before the breakout, and entering only with very small volume with quite large stop losses, because the character of movement of BTC is all about to count all your stop losses. The next coin is USDT. Quite good levels, but very low volumes. If the volumes remain the same, there is nothing to do. But we have still about 4% to the level, and if there are higher volumes, we will be waiting for the breakout. The negative aspect only is that it was false broken, and some liquidity may be executed here. Another situation is on Didex, higher than average volumes, and I really hope that will be the breakout after the next touch to the level. Small divergence on the volumes, but anyway, the volumes are still reliable. The interest to the instrument is still high, as you see. So if you see, for example, some points of early loading, it could be reasonable. Let's watch. Still nothing, because the price is stuck between these limit orders, maybe the work of market makers, and still I see no point of early loading because there is a mixture of colors in delta, something very unclear and uncertainty in clusters. So this is a very dangerous place where to load in advance. We should wait for something more stable, some much more reliable reasons to load in advance. For example, if those limit orders are about to be placed in this place and the clusters higher with the concentration of points of control, it would be much more preferable to open short position from this point. But it's all about struggle now and decreasing of volumes. It's quite bad. Let's shift our attention to doggy. Here we have some good signs when we have, I will show you such a pattern. When we have this column with box in not in the middle but in the lower part, it means that we have the pressure from downside, the upward pressure. Look at this extremely important thing. In this cluster we have it here. In this cluster the same. We have points of control in the downside of this column. And finally here the same thing. If we connect this, we see that this part really implies the pressure from the downside. So I'm placing the stop losses behind this area, below all these points of control, because if the price finally buy out all these struggles, all this zone, it instantly loses the relevance. Please don't forget about your questions. Didex we have just considered. The next one is Keva. In the aspect of the volumes, it looks much better because higher than average volumes, but all the volumes are quite unstable. But another one good sign is that look at these volumes. For example, extremely high and extraordinary high sales volumes here, sellers volumes here, but all these struggles of sellers, all this force of sellers just made just came up with almost 3% of downward movement. Here again, it was quite hard for sellers to decrease the price. However, it is much more easy for buyers to increase, to push the price higher. It means that buyers forces, the buyers' intentions and volume is prevailing. So that's why I really hope for the breakout when the price finally come up to this zone. It would be the third touch, and however, be very attentive and careful, because it could be the liquidity grab. I mean the artificial price rolling down, rolling back, just to count your stop losses in order to load the huge player position. So let's wait for the next touch. I really recommend you to place some signal levels here, at least somewhere 0.94, just to be ready. Then people, another one good situation for long breakout on the background of quite good news. I mean the news on the coin. What I was talking about, I forgot. The crypto exchange that announced that it has quite huge reserves in BTC. Please recall me. Finally, it was the good sign, the good background for short-term long movements. So it's another one argument for waiting for the long breakout on this situation. OP, another situation is about the short breakout. However, I think it's too late for higher volumes to come, because 1% left before the level. However, you see that the volumes are extremely low, so there is nothing to do here. We missed the situation. I hope that it would change, but nothing to do here. PHB, I think this situation really needs some correction, and the most probable outcome is about to look at these volumes. I think that it would be the drastic reach of this level, short breakout, a kind of liquidity grab, and then it would be the continuation of the trend. What I mean, I will show you. Here we have a slope, and first of all, the price would probably come here at that level, small and extremely drastic breakout, and finally that was the load of position, and then it could break this slope, and continue the uptrend forward. Finally, Doggy USDT is getting worse and worse for long. I really thinking about closing this position. Nothing to do here, because as you see, there is a uncertainty and struggle in clusters. Unstable green delta, it's more about to reverse, and I would probably close this situation. Please ask your questions about strategies On one of the previous streams, there was a quite productive dialogue about the risk management, about the clusters, and I'm here to share our experience with you. Don't be shy, please. And let's look. Maybe we will find something here. Gal USDT looks really good. I really like it. People that I know. Let's watch Gal USDT. Yeah, looks very good. And the volumes of sales are increasing. Let's try to catch something. On the 5 minutes time frame, the breakout is already in process. However, I would prefer to take the pullback from this level. But frankly speaking, for such breakout, there is a quite low activity here. As you see, I don't prefer trading such situation because the activity during the breakout, or at least when the price is close to this breakout, should be much more higher, much higher. How to take trade single from depth of market. Uh, the depth of market is usually analyzed through watching the terminal. I mean, all these three areas, not only the order book itself, but the tape here where we hear market participants and clusters. There is a quite really good craft of and really good skill of trading only through depth of market, but especially for most traders, it's usually also important to have the graphical arguments. I think the most suitable trading uh, using only depth of market. I mean, trading only by using the order book is pipsing strategy, but it's quite hard for getting used to and to master it. But if you have such skill, uh, you will be calling the shots. A single trade from I don't recommend you trading only on graph, and I don't recommend you trading only with order book. It should be combined. However, the book is more important than the graph. It's about 30 and 70% of contribution to your analysis. But it was a good question because many people really trade only graph, especially those who are not familiar to stop, who are not familiar with the order book. Let's have another one attempt because here we have uh, some pattern in clusters. the delta changed again to the green one. So let's give a chance to this trade. The last attempt. Don't forget about your risk management, because I am entering the trade according to my risk management, according to my working volume. Your working volume should be comfortable, because if you exceed your comfortable working volume, it usually you will be under the pressure of this anxiety, and you'll be anxious. It will make you it will confuse you, and you will be making wrong decision if you're applying uncomfortable working volume. So every time you exceed, you will have some problems with opening deal, with supporting your trade and fixing your trade. So it will become more like casino. So you should always trade only with your comfortable working volume, and the most obvious indicator how to understand that you are trading with the proper volume is that you do not feel any nervous. You just believe in your trade, you see the targets, and you have no doubts. If you have stop loss hit, you have stop loss hit, and you don't feel any disappointment, and that's okay. This is about trading your comfortable volume. Even it's about giving you several cents per trade, not even dollars. It's okay. You should get used to increasing your volume. This is about one of the main aspects of psychology combined with the risk management. So the most uh, important problem and obvious problem for traders, especially for beginners, is the greed. So it would be better to add volume indicator to CScalp, but we have the volume indicator. You can see it here. For example, you open the graph of futures and volume indicator you see here. And that was included from the very beginning of CScalp. Okay, let's try to increase the position, because here we have some movements of pulling some limit orders here. Let's try. Let's give a chance. Thank you too, someone. We were talking recently about the activity on the streams, and many people from the Western countries, they are unfamiliar with the order book. I mean the order book of the trading platform, and many of them are getting interested, and many of them reporting the increase of results, the stability of their trading, because it quite much more easy to trade profitably when you trade not only the graph, but when you are able to read the order book, when you understand what is happening, the market mechanics, and all the people who do not afraid this interface, but I really know that from the first glance is quite it's quite horrible. Many people afraid of such soft, because it really looks disgusting. But finally, there is nothing really difficult and complicated. You will be able to read this without any problems, and it would be extremely clear for you how the price shifting from one liquidity pool to another liquidity pool. Is it possible to trade Forex or S&P with CScalp? Is profitable if we take commissions? I'm sure that it's impossible with trading Forex, but I think it's much more uh, real to trade indices and stock exchange market, because stock exchange is already, for example, Moscow exchange is using almost the same soft, almost the same driver, and it deals with the shares of different companies. But I think it would be unreal for Forex. However, it's quite popular question, especially about the Forex. Frankly speaking, I really don't like Forex because it's quite complicated, and uh, there is a high dependence on political factors, and there is a high extent of insider information for those who are closer to political members and so on. But moreover, it's important that almost impossible to see the buyers and sellers in order book, and this is the main problem about the forex. And finally, it's not such a volatile market. I really prefer, after trading CScalp, it would be extremely boring for you to trade something less volatile after trading crypto. Anyway, the market's quite weak now, it's quite inactive. So while we are in position, please share your thoughts about the market. Maybe you see some good setups. It would be good if you share it and we can consider and watch to have some analysis live during the stream. Look at this again. The problem is that delta is not stable at all. Absolutely. It's not very good, and the character of movement, uh, the price action itself is not bad, but the character of movement, you see, quite unfavorable for loading huge volume. And I really think that it would be the second shoulder here, maybe something like this, and then it would be the breakout of this figure, of this structure. Oh, the clusters appeared, points of control, I mean. Usually we treat such concentration of points of control as the resistance or uh, the support, depending on which side the price is. What is your win ratio, sir? Reply me. My usual ratio no less than 1 to 3rd, because 1 to 2, it would be unreliable. It's too small, especially in crypto, it should be 1/3 or 1/5 even, as minimum. Ren made a good run. Let's watch. Yes, it did. So it would be hit of my stop loss anyway, because we trade out this zone. We broke this zone, so this is nothing to do this here. It's quite active. Ah, you mean the win ratio of I was confused. Okay, you mean the statistics of green of profitable trades against the losses. The truth is, the professional trader is not a person who. Just a moment. I should change the leverage. Just a moment. Just a moment. The truth is that a trader, professional trader, is not a person uh, who have all the trades with profit, but those who can losing uh, who can have the whole week of bad days of stop loss hits, but then he has enough courage to keep the mind cold, to keep the head cold, and finally find the one good trade to compensate all the previous stop losses, all the previous uh, losses. If you, for example, take the trader's diary of a professional and the trader's diary of an amateur, you will find the difference in that both diaries could be absolutely red, but in amateurs and or the beginners diary, it would be -5, -5, -10, -30, -50, -100, and so on. The result of tilt. But the professional diary will be look like -5, -5, -5, -7, -5, 100 plus, something like that. The professionalism in trading is not about closing all your deals in profit, but in following your risk management, controlling your emotions, and trading in accordance to your trade system. Let's try to. This is a quite good movement because, as you see, the prevalence of green color. Let's try to trade this, and maybe it will be the breakout of this limit order. Let's try to catch it. I really recommend you using this ruler. The ruler would show you the percentage from the current price. It will help you to place the stop loss properly. So the answer on your question is no. I think I uh, I met no trader, not a single trader who had the 100% win ratio. It's impossible. How many years will take to make $100 to 1 million? It depends on you. It depends on your uh, mindset. It depends on your educational skills, on your feeling of the market. I think it would take no less than 5 years. Let's try to short from this limit order, but it could be a spoofer. Anyway, we will try. We will try. Volatility is too high. Okay. The entry was quite bad because it's about 0.5% from this limit order. And according to the graph, the instrument really lacks correction. Should be the correction. And look at the clusters. The sellers activity is prevailing. What will be the initial amount for beginner trader? $20. $20 would be enough, really. The first task for you just to make 100 from 20. It's extremely easy if you have enough skills. There is no reason to deposit $1,000, $500 because it would be you will be liquidated anyway several times during your education, during your becoming a professional trader. It's quite obvious, and you will have such bad times, and I think it's better start with $20 because uh, it wouldn't be so painful if you lose comparing losing $500 in a week or losing $20 in a week. But the chances are absolutely the same, the mechanics absolutely the same. I have many questions here. Please ask. That's why we are here. What will be the spot or futures trading? I prefer combining because in many times I have uh, bad results. For example, in futures, some losses within several days. I switch to spot, especially it when it comes to breakout of extremely strong levels. For example, how it was with Ethereum on this August or July, I don't remember. It was the extremely good setup of the consolidation. Uh, Look at this. It was a stop loss hit, and let's try to make it again because this limit order looks very good. I hope this is not a spoofer because the spoofer could confuse you. Oh, it's a spoofer. You just saw this. He just canceled this limit order. So I will miss this situation because it's quite unstable. So quite not good for today. What we were talking about. I really prefer trading breakouts on spot because there are almost no spoofers at spot. They are really prefer trading and confusing players on futures market. against just me, best trading book. Frankly speaking, all the books uh, would not show you the clear picture, because I really recommend more watching videos of very of quite experienced traders. I think this is the only sphere where the YouTube will give you much than books. However, I recommend you the technical analysis of don't remember the author's name, but I really recommend you one extremely good book devoted to psychology of trading. Brett Steenberger, Psychology of Trading. Uh, Extremely good manual of getting your mental health, mental stability, and mental performance stable. When you're writing a book, sir? Frankly speaking, I was thinking about this, because I really was thinking about this, and now I am completing my second education. This time I will have the defense of my master thesis devoted to crypto, by the way. But after this, I will be thinking about writing something about I think the book will be devoted to the huge players, to the huge capitals, and the difference between the crowd psychology and the huge player psychology, and how to trade profitably, not being a crowd, but thinking how the huge player. So this is the really sign that that it would be the good idea to write a book or something like that. So I think for me today then is enough, because the most important skill for trader is stop trading. When you have several stop loss hit, when you have several losses, it could be even 5 or 7 or 10 in a row. It could bring you quite considerable loss, and this loss our brain and our psychology usually perceives as a failure, as a failure, and the brain provoke all these mechanics, all this emotional avalanche that would probably lead us to the real failure, the loss of the deposit. So you should perceive these losses as a part of your work, is integral part of your work, and you will never stop losing, because even the professional traders, they always lose, but they differ from the beginners just in one small thing. They just can get rid of the stress, and they stop trading before they get tilted. I see a large entry in the DOM and place a limit order right after it and enter the position. If you able to see large entry, it's a good skill, but you should be sure that is a large entry, because large entry, uh, the mechanics of large players is not to enter by the market, because they have too much volume, and the liquidity is not enough. Usually the liquidity here and right now is not enough to load the huge player. That's why a huge player usually loads inside the long, quite long consolidation. Uh, Look at this. We have the formation of, as I said, uh, step by step. The price is coming to this level, and it will be the attempt of breakout. So why your viewers is low? I don't know, because we just started to uh, this we just started the development of English speaking community, but I have my own community, but here I can't speak without about this. Maybe next time I will promote my community. So we just started to develop it, and we are creating a course. Do you think fund management makes sense? For example, paying 150 USD to manage accounts like 25K or 50K. I think when you are managing someone else capital, it will cause again the great pressure on you. I think it's always bad idea to manage someone's money, someone's funds. So I had such experience, and finally I made a decision that it could be it much more easy to manage your funds, your own money. But even this is not easy almost all time. But when you're trading someone's other funds, in 90% of cases it would be the failure. It's all about psychology. Which crypto is the most stable coin for saving? Oh, it's a quite difficult question. I really prefer diversification in these cases. Some percentage of my assets I keep holding in USDT, some in other assets. For example, the lower BTC comes, the more people prefer it like a diversification asset. USDT, it really quite stable, because several weeks ago we were the evidence was that the head of FTX, the management of FTX tried to short USDT. They I don't know what was the purpose. Maybe they are trying to go cash, but there was a quite serious and drastic dump of USDT, and finally USDT recovered after several hours. After several days, it was totally recovered. For such time, I don't know other more stable coin than USDT. It could be trivial, but it's true. Technical analysis must, on the other hand, can CScalp give a signal when a huge amount of trade is placed, because maybe it's not possible to see all the longs CScalp. Or no, maybe. Now, my friends, we are coming to the end, so I must finish this stream. I hope the stream was of great interest for you. I will be waiting you on the next stream. So prepare your questions, maybe some cases from your trading. We will be reviewing this, considering all this, and I will try to answer all your questions. Thank you for your attention and activity. See you soon.